Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope everyone is fine. So today we are going to learn a new topic which is in IIT Physics, that is force. Force. Do you know about force? Yes, it's a common word which we use in our daily activities. Is it right? So how much forcefully you have done the work? So this is one sentence. How much force should I apply to move a bench or to move a chair? For example, a chair is there which is in front of me. Okay. If I want to lift the chair or if I want to push the chair, what do I need? Yes, it's a force. Yes, force is a very simple word and it easily can be understood by you. That is very easy. A push or a pull. So push or pull means what? A very simple definition of force is a push or a pull. Push means you are going to push. Understood? For example, again I am taking a chair. Okay. For this chair, I am just pushing the chair. Okay. And now pulling the chair. So this pushing or pulling, we will call it as a force. So did you understand? So very simple. Now if you see, this force is divided into two types. Two categories are there. So what are those categories? Let's see. So this force divided into contact force and non-contact force. Stop. Yes. So if you see, contact force and non-contact force. This force is divided into two categories, that is contact and non-contact force. First we need to know what is meant by this contact force and non-contact force. Under these contact force also we have some forces, under non-contact forces also we have some forces. So today we are going to learn how many types of contact forces are there. Now if you see contact force, what is the meaning? What is the mean by a contact force? Means there should be a contact between the object and the person who is actually using the force. That means, for example, I am having a duster in my hand. Is there a contact between my hand and the duster? Yes, there is a contact. My hand is in contact with the duster. That means what? This is nothing but contact. Understood? Now, this contact, I am pushing the duster or I am just pushing towards the ground. That means what? Here there is a contact between me. Clear? So push or a pull is called what? A force. No, right. So force is nothing but a push or pull, we have said. So I am just, if I am pushing, for example, again I take an example of the chain. So for example, we are pushing a chain is a force and pulling a chain is also a force. If you see here, there is a contact between my hand and the chain. Is it right? There is a contact between my hand and the chain. So that's why here I am using a contact force. Here I am using contact force. Now let's learn how many types of contact forces are there. The very first contact force is muscular force. So muscular force, even you can see in the image, muscular force. Right. So what is this muscular force? Where our muscles are used. Muscles are used, our muscles. So we have muscles. So these muscles are used in hands and the legs. Okay. So where our muscles are used, such type of force we call it as muscular force. If you see here, some examples are there of muscular force. So those examples if you observe, one is lifting a bag. Lifting a bag is an example of muscular force. Good. And then we have even the person who is lifting a rice bag is also a muscular force. Even the students who are going along with the school bags, they are lifting their bag and they are moving. Is it right? So these all are a few examples of muscular force. Did you understand? So muscular force means what? Where our muscles are used. Is it clear? So let's move to the next force. Muscular force. After that we have force of friction. We have force of friction. Now what is meant by this force of friction? This force of friction is also called as frictional force. Frictional force. So this is also called as frictional force. Now what is force of friction or frictional force is explaining to us? Means seriously, for example, here are few examples to you to know what is meant by this force of friction. In this picture, you can see if we ball, if you are rolling, just rolling the ball, after some time it rolls and after some time it stops. That means what? There are force or there are against force which is acting opposite to the ball direction, which is actually it is moving. There is a force which is acting opposite to that force. That means what? That force is called as contact force, and the name of the force is called as frictional force or force of friction. So in the same time, for example, I am walking from one place to another place. I want to stop here. How I am able to stop myself with the help of the floor? For example, you are running on the road and you want to stop yourself. How you are going to stop yourself? By applying pressure on the floor. Then only even you can stop your body. Is it right? For example, a student is running. For example, on the floor, like some school floor, you just remember. Okay, in the corridor, he is running and just pouring some oil on the floor. Exactly at that oil place where I have poured, there exactly he need to stop. Will he be able to stop himself? No, it is not possible. He may skid like this in this picture. Okay, he may skid. That means what? We have a contact between our leg, our sandals, chappals with the floor. There is a contact. With that contact, we can able to stop ourselves. Understood? That is nothing but that force which exists between your floor and the leg, that force we will call it as frictional force or force of friction. Did you understand? Yes. So today we have learned contact force. What is meant by contact force? Means there should be a contact between the object and the particular forcing person or any medium. Understood? That is the contact force. Non-contact means quite opposite for this one. Non-contact forces is also called as field forces. Field force. We can also call it as field force or force at a distance. So we can call it as field force or force at a distance. Did you understand? So these are the contact forces book. For example, I am placing this book on the table or the chair. Okay, just imagine here two things I have taken. One is the book and another one is the chair. I am just now leaving the book, just dropping this book. So what happens? It falls down. Is it right? At the same time, if I pick the chair, same thing I have kept. Now it is not falling down. It is on the chair. Why? What is the reason here? Before it was fallen down. No? It has fallen down. Now it is on the chair. What is the reason? That means what? This chair is supporting this book not to fall down. Is it right? Yes, of course. This is what now we are going to know. So what it is saying? The opposite force of the force. Which force? Can you say that? Which force actually pulls us down? Which force? Every object, whatever every object is there on the earth, every object comes down. Is it right or not? Every object comes down. By which force? Yes, it is a gravitational force. That is due to gravity. Is it right? Yes. So due to the gravitational pull, what happens? If I drop a book, easily it goes down to the floor because of the gravitational force. At the same time, if I kept the book on the bench or the table, it will not fall down. Is it right or not? Yes. Why? Because there is a normal force. There is a normal force which acts opposite to the gravitational force. If the gravitational force is working downwards, then definitely normal force will be working vertically upwards. Did you understand? So the normal force which acts exactly opposite to the gravitational force. Did you understand this one? That means what? There is a force exists which is opposite to the gravitational force. Even you can look into this picture which shows there is a opposite force to the gravitational force, that is called as N, normal force. N stands for normal force. G stands for gravitational force. So did you understand what is meant by normal force? What is meant by muscular force? What is meant by force of friction? Yes. Now let's go to the last contact force which is in our textbook, that is tension. Now we are going to know tension. What is meant by tension? Now see, tension and normal force both are similar but not same. Okay. Now what is meant by the similar but not same means? Let's see. For example, I have just fixed a string to the ceiling. You just imagine this one as a ceiling. Okay. And I have kept one string, and for this string I have added some 500 grams of weight. 500 grams of weight I have just fixed to that string, and at the same ceiling, same side, I have kept one more string without any weight. It is left free. Okay. Now what is the difference between this string and this string? If you observe clearly, in this string which is holding the weight, it becomes stiff enough. Okay, it becomes tight enough. Is it right or not? If any, for example, this duster is fixed for the ceiling and some weight is pulling downwards, what it becomes? It becomes stiff. Is it right? It becomes tight. So like that, the string will have the force of tension. That the force of tension. And this force of tension will be acting opposite to the weight. This weight will be going downwards, no, pulling downwards by the gravitational force. Is it right or not? So all particles on the floor should come to the ground. Is it right? So this, due to this weight of this 500 grams, there will be a force which is acting downwards. And we can call it as W, weight, or we can also say it as a gravitational force G. So the force which is acting against to this one, that is That is what I said. Don't be confused between the normal force and the tension. Normal force which exists anywhere at any type of moment. Understood? Any type of moment. Even a body is in rest. We are in rest. For example, I am standing in one position. Definitely there will be a force which is acting downwards. That is what? Very good. Gravitational force which is acting downwards, and at the same time which is acting upwards is a normal force. Even a body is in rest, two forces will be acting on it. That is, one is gravitational force acting downwards, one is normal force which is acting upwards. Here same thing, gravitational force and the weight is acting downwards. Here tension, we will say tension is acting upwards. Why we should say tension, sir? Can't we say it as a normal force? Means not. Why? Because it is the force which is acting on the string. If there is no string, if we get the same 500 kgs in rest, then we can say that normal force is acting upwards. Okay. When it is fixed to the string, when it is moving, understood? When it is fixed to the string, then we can say that only tension is acting upwards and the weight is acting downwards. Even if you see in the normal force and the tension, if you see there is a contact. There is a contact between the string and this weight. As well in the past cases, I told on a table we have kept a book, or in my hand the duster is there. So there will be acting downwards, gravitational force, acting upwards, a normal force. Understood? Means what? There is a contact between the book and the bench. As well here if you see in my hand, there is a contact between my duster and the hand, my hand. Understood? So there is a contact. That's why these two, normal force and tension, also comes under contact forces. Okay. So in the next video we will get to know what are the types of non-contact forces. See you.